She learned how humans reproduce, and her eyes went wide, arrival and first encounters. In the vast expanse of the Andromeda sector, the human exploration vessel Odyssey hummed through the stars. Captain Elias Thorne, a rugged explorer with a sharp jaw and piercing green eyes, stood on the bridge, scanning anomaly reports. His crew, engineer Mira Kane, a brilliant inventor with fiery red hair, medic Dr. Jax Harlan, a calm giant of a man, and navigator Sarah Voss, a quick-witted strategist, worked seamlessly around him. "Captain, we've got a distress signal from a derelict ship," Sarah announced, her fingers dancing over the console. "Alien design, unknown origin." Elias nodded. "Helm, take us in. Prepare boarding team." The Odyssey docked with the battered vessel, its hull scarred by asteroid impacts. Elias led the team inside, phasers ready. The air was thick with an unfamiliar ozone scent. In the central chamber they found her. A blue-skinned female slumped against a console, her sleek form clad in a shimmering suit. Her skin gleamed like sapphire under the emergency lights, long silver hair cascading over her shoulders. She stirred as they approached, her violet eyes fluttering open. "I'm Captain Elias Thorne of the human ship Odyssey," he said gently, kneeling beside her. "We're here to help." She blinked, processing his words through a universal translator implant. "I am Lyra Voss, explorer from Zorath. My ship failed, thank you." Dr. Harlan scanned her. "She's dehydrated but stable. No injuries." They helped Lyra aboard the Odyssey, where Mira set up quarters for her. Lyra moved with graceful curiosity, her lithe frame adapting quickly to the human environment. Over the next hours, she marveled at their technology, touchscreens, holographic displays, even the simple replicator that produced hot coffee. Elias found himself drawn to her. During a debrief in the mess hall, he sat across from Lyra, offering her a nutrient bar. "Tell me about Zorath," he prompted. "It's a world of crystal spires and endless skies," she replied, her voice melodic. "We explore to learn, to connect. Humans, you're so dynamic," he chuckled. "Dynamic? That's one way to put it. We've got our share of chaos." As the conversation flowed, Lyra's questions grew more personal. "How do humans form bonds? On Zorath, it's through shared visions." Elias leaned closer, his hand brushing hers accidentally. A spark ignited, her blue skin warm against his. "We talk, laugh, sometimes fight, but mostly we feel." Her violet eyes met his, wide with intrigue. The crew exchanged knowing glances as the two lingered, the seeds of attraction planting firmly. That evening in her quarters, Lyra pondered the humans. Elias knocked, bringing a datapad. "Thought you might want to learn more about us?" She accepted it gratefully, their fingers lingering. "Thank you, Elias. This means much." As he left, she activated the pad, scrolling through entries on human history. Little did she know, deeper files held secrets that would soon widen her eyes in ways unimaginable.
Cultural exchange and growing bond. Days blurred into a gentle rhythm aboard the Odyssey. Lyra shadowed the crew like a curious shadow, her sapphire skin catching every light in the corridors. Mira Kane taught her the guts of the fusion drive, laughing when Lyra traced the glowing conduits with reverent fingers. Dr. Jax Harlan showed her the infirmary, letting her taste synthetic honey while explaining how human hearts beat faster under stress, or desire. But it was Elias who became her gravity. Evenings found them in the observation lounge, stars streaking past the viewport. Lyra sat cross-legged on the deck, silver hair spilling over one shoulder, asking endless questions. Elias answered with stories, the first time he saw Earth's oceans, the smell of rain on Martian domes, the way his mother sang old lullabies. In return, she spoke of Zoratha's singing winds and the telepathic choirs that marked every birth. One night the ship's artificial day cycle dimmed to twilight blue. The lounge was empty except for them. Lyra held a cup of replicated wine, studying the liquid as if it might reveal secrets. "Humans change color when you feel strongly," she said softly. "Your cheeks, your chest, it is beautiful." Elias felt heat rise at her words. "You do that too," he murmured. "When you laugh, the blue deepens along your throat." Her gaze flicked to his mouth. Slowly, deliberately, she set the cup aside and leaned forward. Their lips met, hesitant at first, then hungry. She tasted like starlight and something electric. His hand slid into her hair, hers pressed flat against his chest, feeling the thunder of his heart. When they parted, her violet eyes were luminous. "I have never kissed before," she whispered. "On Zorith we share thoughts, not mouths." "Want to try again?" he asked, voice rough. She answered by pulling him back down. Later, tangled on the wide couch, clothes half discarded, they explored with wondering hands. Her skin was velvet over steel, his calloused palms drew shivers from her. They moved slowly, learning curves and hollows, until breathless laughter mingled with soft moans. When release came, it left them trembling and closer than any shared vision could have managed. Afterward, Lyra traced idle patterns on his chest. "I want to understand everything human," she said. "Even the parts your databases keep in private folders." Elias kissed her temple. "Careful what you wish for, blue girl." He revelation. Lyra discovered the restricted biology archives at 0300 ship time, when insomnia drove her to the library terminal. She meant only to study human sleep cycles. Instead she found high-resolution anatomical diagrams, then videos, educational, then decidedly not. Her eyes went wide. Very wide. By morning she was a storm of questions barely contained behind polite smiles. She cornered Elias in his ready room, locking the door with a mischief he'd never seen on her. "Elias," she began, voice trembling with excitement, "your species reproduces through physical conjugation. Internally. With friction. And pleasure is required for success." He choked on his coffee. "That's one way to put it." She stepped closer, pupils blown. "Show me." "Not diagrams." "You." What followed was frantic and laughing and utterly shameless. Clothes hit the deck in record time. Lyra's curiosity was insatiable, she mapped every sound he made, every place that made him arch or beg. When he finally slid into her, slow and reverent, she gasped at the stretch, the heat, the impossible intimacy no Zorathian mind link had ever provided. Afterward she lay sprawled across his chest, blue skin flushed darker. "We use crystalline ovulation chambers," she said between kisses. "Efficient. Emotionally sterile. This is chaos and creation at once." Elias laughed into her hair. "Welcome to being human." Their idyll shattered hours later when Sarah's voice crackled over intercom, "Captain to the bridge. 3 Zorathian hunter ships just dropped out of warp. They're hailing, and they want Lyra back. Word count, 400. Part 4, Conflict and Deepening Romance." Commander Cale Draven's face filled the main view screen, high cheekbones, cold silver eyes, the same blue skin as Lyra but hardened into something predatory. "She is unbound genetic material," Cale declared. "Return her for reassignment." Elias stepped forward, Lyra's hand clutched in his. "She's a person, not property. She stays." The channel cut to weapons fire. The Odyssey danced between crimson lances of plasma. Mira rerouted power to shields, Jax manned turrets with grim precision. Lyra, to everyone's shock, knew Zorathian shield harmonics, she fed Sarah targeting data that turned the tide. Between volleys, Elias and Lyra stole moments in the Jeffries tubes. Adrenaline turned every touch into fire. He pressed her against the bulkhead, swallowing her cries as the ship shuddered around them. They moved fast and desperate, her legs locked around his waist, whispering love between gasps. "I choose this," she panted against his neck. "I choose you, messy, mortal, magnificent you." When the hunters boarded, Elias met Cale in the cargo bay. The Zorathian commander sneered at the human who dared claim one of their own. Lyra stepped between them, palm raised. A psychic pulse rippled out, her first willing use of Zorathian discipline. Cale staggered, stunned by the raw emotion she poured into the link: love, fury, belonging. The hunters retreated, shamed. That night, bruised but victorious, Elias found Lyra in the observation lounge again. She wore his uniform shirt and nothing else. "I'm never going back," she said simply. He crossed the deck and kissed her like a vow. Conflict and deepening romance. Commander Cale Draven's face filled the main view screen: high cheekbones, cold silver eyes, the same blue skin as Lyra but hardened into something predatory. "She is unbound genetic material," Cale declared. "Return her for reassignment." Elias stepped forward, Lyra's hand clutched in his. "She's a person, not property. She stays." The channel cut to weapons fire. The Odyssey danced between crimson lances of plasma. Mira rerouted power to shields, Jax manned turrets with grim precision. Lyra, to everyone's shock, knew Zorathian shield harmonics. She fed Sarah targeting data that turned the tide. Between volleys, Elias and Lyra stole moments in the Jeffries tubes. Adrenaline turned every touch into fire. He pressed her against the bulkhead, swallowing her cries as the ship shuddered around them. They moved fast and desperate, her legs locked around his waist, whispering love between gasps. "I choose this," she panted against his neck. "I choose you, messy, mortal, magnificent you." When the hunters boarded, Elias met Cale in the cargo bay. The Zorathian commander sneered at the human who dared claim one of their own. Lyra stepped between them, palm raised. A psychic pulse rippled out, her first willing use of Zorathian discipline. Cale staggered, stunned by the raw emotion she poured into the link: love, fury, belonging. The hunters retreated, shamed. That night, bruised but victorious, Elias found Lyra in the observation lounge again. She wore his uniform shirt and nothing else. "I'm never going back," she said simply. He crossed the deck and kissed her like a vow. Resolution and new beginnings. With the hunters gone, the Odyssey limped toward the nearest starbase for repairs, and a very awkward diplomatic incident. Lyra stood beside Elias on the bridge, fingers entwined, as they sent a message to Earth: first contact, successful, complicated by interspecies romance. The crew toasted with replicated champagne. Mira winked outrageously, Jax pretended not to notice the captain's swollen lips. Sarah just plotted a course that would take months to reach home, plenty of time. Later, in the captain's quarters, candles, real ones, Myra's gift, flickered across blue skin and human bronze. They undressed each other slowly this time, savoring. Lyra straddled him, silver hair curtaining them from the universe. "I want to make life the human way," she whispered, guiding him inside her with deliberate reverence. "With you. Only you." He surged up to meet her, hands spanning her waist, and they moved like tides, deep, rhythmic, ancient. Pleasure built in long, shattering waves until she cried out his name and he followed, spilling into her with a broken groan. After, they lay tangled and sweating, the stars outside no match for the light in her eyes. "Whatever comes next," Elias said, tracing the faint glow along her collarbone, "we face it together." Lyra smiled, wicked and tender. "Together. And often. Humans, I've decided, are very thorough about bonding rituals." He laughed, rolling her beneath him again. Somewhere in the vents, Myra's voice crackled over the intercom: "Soundproofing, Captain. Invest in it." They didn't bother answering. The Odyssey sailed on, carrying the first chapter of a love story written in 2 species worth of wonder, and a great deal of very enthusiastic practice.